Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to take a little bit of a look at what is incredibly exciting, and that is some new trademarks that have gone and been filed for the Pokemon trading card game. And you know the deal at this stage, right? When I'm sharing these trademarks with you, it's because I'm talking to people like lovely Primal Lugia and Matthew Arrive, people I trust who know this stuff. And between us, we basically decided these are worth talking about. They have been filed in Japan under the correct title, which would generally be for trading card games. And as I've told you before, our hit rate on these is frankly excellent. The most recent set that actually released in Japan was Terastal Festival. That's the most recent set. When did I show you the trademark for Terastal Festival? June. I showed you that trademark in June. It came out in December. So I can't give you a release date for this. There doesn't seem to be a real hard and fast rule of they are always trademarked exactly this amount of time before the set releases. But I'm telling you, they're pretty likely to be TCG sets. And when I tell you what they're called, you're going to go, ooh. Because what they're called are Mega Symphonia and Mega Brave. Oh yeah, it's Mega Pokemon. And since we've gone for Mega Pokemon, it's Legend ZA. And as with all of this, we never know for absolute certain. There's always a possibility that Pokemon over in Japan could surprise us and just throw us a complete curveball. But generally speaking, when we look at these sets, if it seems pretty obvious what they're getting at, it's pretty obvious what they're getting at. Terastal Festival, we all looked at that and went, oh, it's a Terastal focus set. And honestly, like a Terra Pokemon focus set. And honestly, it sounds an awful lot like something like Shiny Treasures EX. So this really does seem like it's going to be the end of year special set. And of course, it was the end of year special set in the same way that Shiny Treasures EX was last year's, or I suppose technically the year before now, end of year special set. The classic one here, of course, was Eevee Heroes. That was the kind of all-time easiest one to figure out. But yeah, I think it's pretty obvious at this stage. It seems to be that's what it's going for. The fun one for us was Silver Lance and Jet Black Poltergeist, which when we saw those trademarks made absolutely no sense. And then, of course, we found out it was, of course, Sword and Shield DLC related, and it was Ice Rider and Shadow Rider Calyrex. I don't think we need to think this one through in as much detail. It's Mega Symphonia and Mega Brave. They're not hiding this. And, of course, Legend ZA is going to be coming, and I mean, there's a few things we can say about Legend ZA. We know that it's going to be the second Legends game. And we know that it is going to be a Gen 6 focus game. And we know that Mega Pokemon are coming back. And we know that Mega Pokemon are coming back. That's not any kind of prediction or wish casting or any of that malarkey. We know that Mega Pokemon are coming back. They showed us the Mega Revolution symbol in the initial reveal trailer. So make no mistake about it. They are going to be coming back. There is no ifs, buts, or maybes here. And look, this means it's a Legend ZA set. It has to be. They've put Mega in the title of two different sets. For the TCG, at least we seem to be TCG. They really do seem to be. And they're a little way off. These are going to be the Legend ZA sets. And honestly, probably the first ones, because the way I like to think about this is, if they want to give us Legend ZA sets, then they're going to want to really make it like, hey, this is a Legend ZA set. So the first one, they're probably going to be a little bit more on the nose than they might otherwise be. So putting Mega in there makes sense. Personal prediction here, I think this is a double set. Bearing in mind new blocks and new types we generally do tend to see. Double sets, that is not confirmed. These could be two separate sets. But I'm thinking this is probably going to end up being a double set. Now, I know at this stage, some of you might be thinking, well, hang on a second, Wassy. Because when we had Legends Arceus, we didn't get a real specific full-on in-your-face set name. We didn't get that. I would actually argue that we did, because over in Japan, the sets were called Time Gazer and Space Juggler, which were blatantly Palkia and Dialga. This was another set that was frankly quite easy to figure out what they were going for. There just wasn't really a mechanic in Legends Arceus like there is in Legends ZA, so they couldn't go quite as explicit. But by having, Time Gazer and Space Juggler, I think it's pretty obvious where they were going there, and I think the same one's coming in here. And I'm kind of into this, honestly. I think this is awesome. It also tells us that Pokemon are going to unashamedly give us a Pokemon ZA set. And honestly, probably a few. Like, the English set for us was Astral Radiance, and that was just like a full Legends Arceus set. Make no mistake about it, that set went really hard into Legends Arceus. Because, it wasn't just, we got a bunch of Pokemon, don't get me wrong. We got things like Hisuian Electrode, and I'm not going to sit here. Hisuian Lilligant, I'm not going to list them all out. There's just a couple from Grass. But then, even when we had, like, the Gardevoir line, look at the Routes artwork. That is very clearly artwork from Legends Arceus. So even cards that weren't, or Pokemon that weren't from Hisui originally, or depending how you look at it, I suppose, but even Pokemon that weren't Hisui Pokemon, they still had the artwork in there. And then, of course, you have a look at the trainer cards, we had things like Temple of Sinnoh, like Jubilee Village, like Hisuian Heavy Ball, like Irida. I'm not going to, again, go through all of these. I think I've made my point. They're giving us a bunch of cards, and it's item cards, it's stadium cards, it's Pokemon, and then it's non-Hisui Pokemon in Hisui poses. People, I think, don't always appreciate quite how hard into Legends Arceus Astral Radiance went. Now, the set after that was Lost Origin, where we had a bunch of Hisui Pokemon, but it wasn't quite the same. This was more of a, hey, let's clean it up. We got Hisui and Basculegion, which was incredibly cool. We got ourselves Hisui and Zoroark, and Enamorus, and a whole bunch of other Pokemon. And then, when we got to the trainer cards, there were still a bunch in there, like Lake Acuity, for instance, was very much in there, and Misfortune Sisters. But it wasn't quite the same. It felt like a, hey, let's do some more Legends Arceus stuff, rather than, hey, here's a full-on Legends Arceus game. I don't know, that's a vibe I always got from Lost Origin. As always, please correct me if you think I'm wrong about this. My point is, that's essentially where we're going here. This seems like it's going to essentially be the first set of Legends ZA. And it is going to bring back Mega Pokemon. Again, I haven't said this explicitly yet. I don't think I really needed to, but let me say it explicitly now. Yes, obviously this set is going to bring back Mega Pokemon. Like, obviously this set is going to bring back Mega Pokemon. It would be frankly absurd if we didn't get Mega Pokemon coming back here. And what I find super interesting, remember there's a bunch of Mega Pokemon that we didn't get last time. Things like Mega Medicham, Mega Pinsir, Mega Bayonet, Mega Abomasnow. These are kind of Pokemon we didn't have Megas of last time. Frankly underrepresented. And yeah, sure, we did have, there's a couple like Mega Sableye where we did have them, but only as part of a tag team. So it feels like they could bring some of them back. But we don't know enough about Legends ZA. Maybe there's going to be so many new Mega Pokemon that they can't bring back any of the old ones. The answer is, we just don't know. Is it going to be like it was last time we had Mega Pokemon in the game, where you have to end your turn when you evolve into them, but then they come and give us Spirit Link cards, which allow you to evolve into a Mega Pokemon without ending your turn? Don't know. No idea. I can tell you that's what we did last time, but that's the best I can do. Sorry. But the answer is we just don't know. Certainly, initially, when we got the first run of Mega Pokemon, we didn't have Spirit Link, so you had to end your turn in order to evolve into them. And to put it bluntly, that was very clearly a mistake. Mega Kangaskhan saw a little bit of play here and there. That was the only one. Mega Pokemon were terrible. And then they introduced the Spirit Links, which stopped you ending your turn when you evolved into them, at which point we did see a bunch more come to the fore. So I can tell you, I'm pretty confident we're not just going to have the your turn ends when you evolve into them. But could we have that combined with Spirit Links again? Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. This is all pretty much supposition. What I think we can say for certain is that we are getting a Legend ZA set, and it is bringing Mega Pokemon back into the TCG. I feel very confident about both those statements. No, it is not confirmed. No, it is not official. Yes, I could absolutely be wrong, but I'm telling you those two statements I feel very, very confident about. The rest of it, it's fun to have a think. The other thing we need to consider is that we generally get 12 sets in a block. So Silver Tempest, for instance, was Sword and Shield 12, the final Sword and Shield set. But with game releases the way they are we going to get Gen 10 at the same cadence we've got the others? Might it end up being a little bit later? And the relevance of this question is, could we get a mini block for Legend ZA in the same way we did way back near when I started playing the game competitively, where we got Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and we had 4 Heart Gold, Soul Silver sets, or 5 depending how you count it, and that kind of bridged the gap until we were ready for a new block. I don't know, but that is something that's been playing on my mind. Again, this is not official or any of that, but I'm just wondering whether we could see a proper little mini block like we did back in Heart Gold, Soul Silver. We'll have to figure all this out. For now, we have got ourselves mega sets coming, and it seems like it's bringing ZA in, and I am very excited. But I want to know what you think. I want to know your thoughts, your feelings, your predictions, and anything else. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Good us! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.